good morning or good afternoon, whatever the fuck. SC's up on jack stands. So picked up some rear control arms, upper control arms that is. Not Fixed Engineering, not Megan, not, you know, battle version, but I just needed a quick OEM solution to fix this swaying rear end of mine. And you know, change upper control arms in the rear, couple hours here and there, 3, 4 tops. Easy, right? 2 bolts, 1 ball joint. This is where I'm at. Everything was going good until I went to loosen the ball joint. And what happened? The nut fucking stripped out or rounded off. So I then proceeded to remove the entire spindle from the car. My plan is now get a cutoff wheel and cut the nut slash stud off to get out the ball joint control arm. Oh man, it's like everything that could go wrong is going wrong. Luckily these came out pretty easy. The lower control arm ball joint is in good shape. The toe arm is fucked up, the ball joint, the boot that is. So I got 2 replacement toe arms there that Fluffy gave me a long time ago. Thank you. Can't fucking win. Just can't fucking win. So anyways, I undid everything except for the emergency brake cable. I didn't want to fuck with that, so I just sat the spindle on a milk crate here to keep it, you know, to keep it up close to level, and it's just gonna give me enough room to get a cutoff wheel and slice that ball joint off. Fucking pissed. Anyways, yeah, let's get to it. Let's start cutting. Oh, by the way, this is a new arm. Right side already brings brand new bolts and the nut on the ball joint end too. OEM replacement. I just didn't have the money to drop $2 grand on the set for the rear from Figs. It's just bad timing for me at the moment, so I just went ahead and did OE replacements. I figured, hey, at least new OE rubber bushings are better than 20-year-old rubber bushings. So need to change the wheel on this and we'll start cutting. Not bad, not bad. Knocked a lot of it down. Now I'm going to go in with a grinding wheel and go down flush enough to where I can fucking take the stud out. Look at that fucking mint cut. Now I'm just gonna fucking hammer away. It sucks because I kind of wanted to salvage these and just change the bushings out, but fuck it, it's too late. I'm pretty sure I might have to do this to the other side too. Let's knock this fucking thing out, come back to it. Just like that. It's fucking junk. So now I get to put the spindle back in the car and I can continue putting this new control arm in. That really wasn't that bad of a job actually. Just getting the spindle out and trying my best not to damage the ball joint on this lower arm was the biggest mission, because if I would have damaged that, fuck, I would have had to buy fucking lower control arms now, but luckily that's not the case. So I want to throw this arm in and jump on the other side. Man, time lapse, huh? All right, so wasn't too bad. Got the spindle back in. Now I'm changing out the tow arm. Again, I want to give a shout out to Fluffy. Go a couple videos back, my trip to Florida, to North Florida actually. I went and visited him. He's a guy with the V8, and he used to have an SC300. Bought these fucking tow arms one day, and well, he doesn't have it anymore, so he gave them to me when I bought my car. So basically, they are adjustable, and I'm gonna match the length. Right now I gotta pull them out just a hair, so I'm gonna grab a bolt, run it all the way through so I know this end is even, come down and adjust these. That looks about right. So unfortunately I probably won't be able to get alignment today, so my toe is gonna be way the fuck off. So anyways, let's go ahead and throw this in. Don't forget to use your anti-seize, and I could go ahead and finish this side up and jump on the other side. All that's left here is basically tightening everything up on the upper. I already tightened up the lower control arm and the coilover. I got to tighten the tow arm and the drag link, or traction arm, whatever you want to call it, which is this one right here. It's got a bunch of different names to it. But yeah, so the one thing I want to mention, the beautiful thing about the rear upper control arm is that it brings these cool like nut, right? And it's got a C-clip on it with this like huge extra shit on it. That's so all you have to do is just catch a few of the threads by hand. After that, you don't have to hold this with a wrench or anything. This little piece up top, that little notch or whatever you want to fucking call it, that'll just catch up against the subframe and keep it from spinning. So you just fucking hammer down on the bolt with a gun, call it good. You don't have to worry about sticking a fucking wrench in there, blah blah. The hard part was getting my fingers through there to kind of hold it in place as I get the bolt started. That was kind of a mission. When I researched doing this project, one guy on Club Lexus said, yeah, you got to drop the subframe, this and that, or at least lower it a little bit. And then another guy said, no, you don't. You just got to fucking maneuver your fingers in there and you know, whatever. So if you get control arms, make sure it has these. The factory ones do have them. I got one somewhere, but you know, I think I used one factory one and one new one. I just wasn't paying attention to which one I grabbed, but they don't wear out, so it's perfectly fine to reuse the old ones. Just luckily these control arms came with brand new ones, so it's whatever, no big deal. Don't forget to attach your clips to the control arms. Luckily this is OEM, so it clips right on, no problems there, no zip ties. And yeah, so I can tighten on the axle nut, put the cotter pin back in it. I'll put a new one, put the brake caliper or the rotor, caliper bracket, caliper pads, blah blah blah, go from there. So here we go. Passenger side is done. Coil over, upper arm, nice purple toe arm. I fucking hate it so much. Fucking Chinese junk, fluffy. I know you gave these to me, and I really appreciate it. I love you for it. And it came in fucking clutch today. But man, I hate putting junk on this car. There's zero junk on this fucking car. And now I got fucking eBay, which I looked them up and they're like $40 fucking on eBay. It's alright. I love you, Fluffy. But it's still daylight out. Not bad. There's a nice breeze. The heat kind of went away. I'm not sweating as much as I was before. But let's go ahead, get started here. Alright, here's your SC300, SC400 Toyota Soarer Z30 public service announcement / disclaimer. If your car is rusted, if you live anywhere north of, I'd say, fuck it, the Mason-Dixon line, if you know your geography, don't attempt to fucking do this shit yourself unless you have a shop with fucking every tool you can imagine. Torch, grinder, fucking press, all that, alright? So, yes, I'm doing this here in my backyard with basic hand tools. This is Florida, and this is a rust-free car. So, I'm still had a fucking difficult time loosening the two upper bolts. First things first, you're going to unbolt your shock / coilover / whatever the fuck you have. Alright, let the spindle hang as low as it can. Remove your brakes, caliper bracket, brake pads, caliper, brake disc. Alright, it's going to give you all the room to get a wrench in there, which is a 19, so you can pull all the way this way to loosen it. Once you have that off, whack the side of the spindle, not the ball joint, but the spindle, with a ball peen hammer. Alright, just like that. I recommend leaving the nut on the ball joint, so in case you miss, you don't fuck the threads up if you plan on reusing your control arm. But every ball joint you want to hit on the side of the spindle. It took me about 4 to 5 good fucking hard whacks to get it to pop loose. All right, then you want to push the upper control arm down as far as you can to increase the amount of room you have here to access the bolts. You have one bolt here, and you have one bolt there. All right, those bolts are 19 mil right here. I'm using a 1/2 inch drive short impact socket with an impact extension and a large Craftsman flex head ratchet, all 1/2 inch drive. So I put the ratchet on. Obviously, one you're gonna have to push up, the other one you're gonna have to pull down on the ratchet. To give myself leverage, I'm using the handle from my 2-ton Harbor Freight floor jack. And even then, because of the fender, you're not gonna have a lot of room. So it's gonna be little by little, and it sucks. But once you have it loose enough to where you can do it by hand without the handle, the extension, it's all downhill from there. This is me soaking everything with WD-40. You can't really see it, but both upper bolts are loose. I'm just gonna put a 19 on my Milwaukee here and spin them off real quick. If I could find my 19, that's a 17, here it is. There you go. There's one bolt, 2 bolts. There's one of those nuts with the clip. The other one I think might be resting on top of the subframe there. So now you're good to pull this out. Yeah, and these bushings look like fucking junk. That must have been my problem this whole time. So if I reach my fingers back here, if I could figure out how to get in there, it's a very tight fit and it fucking sucks. But there is a way to get back there. You have a nut and you should have a washer back there also. On the passenger side, I didn't put the washer back. I just put the nut because there's no way I was going to be able to hold them both with my fingers while threading it on. I can't even get that. Anyways, here they are. There's the hardware from the old control arm right there. -1 washer. Don't forget to coat all of your new hardware with anti-seize. That way, in the future, if you ever need to take it off, it won't be as bad as your first time. And then just shoot everything off with the impact. And then I'm gonna go ahead and change out this tow arm. Right there, I got another one I gotta do. Tighten everything down, put the wheels on, take it for a spin, and keep my fucking dicks crossed. Because I hope it fucking fixes my problem, because it's getting annoying. So, check in with you once I have the upper arm in and the toe arm in. All right, just hit sunset and I'm all done. Got the right wheel on, about to put the left, and want to show you guys the final product before I put this wheel on. New control arm with the ABS wheel speed sensor clipped on to the factory locations. Lower adjustable tow arm from eBay, junk, but it's gonna get me home. And that's pretty much it. All the brakes are back on. Everything's tightened down. I went over everything twice. That's pretty much it. The Let's take this thing out on the road and see what happens. Keep your dicks crossed. Alright, so I'm on the interstate doing about 80 miles an hour. All that violent fucking swaying left to right is finally gone. Because it's Friday night and there's nowhere to get an alignment, I kind of just eyeballed my fucking toe. And I mean, it's not perfect. I can feel it when I turn, that the rear alignment is off. No big deal. I'm gonna have to wait until Sunday morning. It's Friday now, so I'm gonna wait until Sunday morning. Head over to Tire Kingdom, go see Ducky, and get this thing towed out in the rear. But other than that, I'm fucking stoked. Finally figured it out. It was upper control arms the whole time, and I mean, I don't regret doing those subframe bushing inserts. It's still an upgrade. But anyways, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that little bell for future videos. Don't forget to follow my Instagram, RSec Automotive, and pick up a sticker. Send me a DM and find out how to get one. Anyways, stay tuned to the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.